Okay, Kevin and Keith here. Kevin out in Las Vegas, Keith here in the middle of nowhere again. But listen, we had a couple points that we wanted to cover on Baccarat, and I think it's probably one of the most important things, and you should stop doing this. And a lot of players fall victim to this, probably the biggest mistake that everyone makes, Kevin. And, we never really talked about it, but I think, we said, hey, maybe we want to do this. And well, I think you'll find this very enlightening and will improve your game dramatically. And, we're here to help you at Beat the Casino. But we categorized, three types of kind of strategies or thought processes when you're betting and making decisions to play Baccarat or anything at that matter, but specifically Baccarat. And, we wanted to go ahead and talk about them, Kevin.
Yes, absolutely.
So, the first one, of course, is kind of what we call the mindless gambler who maybe goes once every 20 years and walks in and takes money and just bets it on any Baccarat hand, banker or player or any roulette, kind of a mindless strategy, just kind of in there. You can call it for fun, but it's never fun losing money. And, that's basically just a mindless approach. It's just, for the person who doesn't take it seriously. And if they get lucky, they win.
I'm going to bet red on roulette. Hey, I'm going to bet banker. I'm just going to walk up and bet all my money on banker.
And we actually see a lot of that on some of the videos, for kind of clickbait, and people do this with, hundreds and thousands of dollars, and then they get the revenue from the clickbait, which is, it kind of encourages you to play that way. But it's a really bad way to play. Obviously, I don't think we need to tell anybody that. But the two primary ones that we wanted to talk about, Kevin, are educated guesses. And you came up with calculated risk.
Yes.
Bet.
Yes.
So give us a little insight into what your understanding of an educated guess is first, Kevin.
Okay. So an educated guess in Baccarat would be, if you study the game for a while and you look at it and you watch videos and there's some good stuff in the different videos. If you know how to pick out the tasty morsels, so to speak, there's some good stuff. And it's something like knowing that banker, over the long haul is going to hit more often than not. An educated guess might be, hey, I'm just going to bet banker here. Okay. And I'm going to bet it over and over and over. And if I do that, for a long period of time, I should come out a winner.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and what escapes people there is that the variance will eat you alive, and the vig on banker will eat you alive if you keep doing that. Now you may win sometimes, but over the long haul, you're never that reality is never going to come to fruition for you because one, you're not playing it long term, and the variance is going to eat you up. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Another one, and I bet you anybody watching this is going to say, "Oh yeah, I've done that." Where you'll get 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever number of bankers or players in a row, and then you go, you know what? It's a 50-50 game. It's got to go back to the other side. So I'm gonna bet the other side.
Right.
If it's 5 banks, 4 players, whatever, I'm gonna bet the other side. Oh, well, that didn't work. Now it's really got to change. So I'm gonna bet it again, or maybe I'm gonna bet more so I recover my first bet.
Right.
Okay. Right. And you're just making an educated guess based on the fact that over a long period of time, something should happen.
Right. Right. But again, the variance is going to eat you up if it doesn't.
Yeah. You're in a short window of. You're not in the lifetime of Baccarat. You're in this next 5 minutes.
Right. That's right.
And again,
so
of course, sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes you're not.
Right. And of course, some people just bet patterns. They'll just look. Well, it's 2-3-2. I'm going to bet 2-3-2 again. And I think it's all, I think educated guesses always based on a couple things. Well, one primary thing is you're looking at one statistic or one parameter or one thing that kind of sticks out in that game, or it could be a mirage. You think it's significant. You assign it as significant and go, I'm going to bet that way because That's what I think. And that's kind of an educated guess. Again, that's better than a mindless just walking up. But again, it doesn't take into consideration enough statistics to make a good, intelligent bet. So now the next category that you spoke of is what we try to teach you at Beat the Casino, which is if you learn to play this way, you're gonna become a lot better player. And a lot of businesses model this methodology on their businesses, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, some businesses, and I know that people listening to this, Keith, are going to know that they big companies have what are called risk management. They've got a risk management department, okay?
Right.
Or when you get your auto insurance, okay? Well, how many miles do you drive a year? Have you had any accidents in the last 3 years? Okay. Have you had any drunk driving incidents? Whatever. Okay. Whatever that, what's your car? What kind of car do you have? Oh my God, you got a fast car. Yeah. and that's what it's called, actuarial science. That's where they're figuring out specifically for you, okay, here's our quote for your insurance. Oh my gosh, that's way higher than my neighbor's paying. Well, they're going to tell you this, but it's because you got a lot of risk factors.
Right.
You've got a lot of, they have calculated, get this, they have calculated you've got a lot of risk factors. Your calculated risk is higher than the man next door or the woman next door, whatever. Okay. It's in everything. It's in everything. Okay. So calculated risk in Baccarat. Okay. You talked about the fact that we like to show the people that, pay attention to, our forum, that there are many ways to, I hate to use this, but skin a cat. There's many ways to figure out what is going on in the shoe and to bet or not bet accordingly. Okay. Right. Or to not bet as much,
Exactly.
Don't martingale, stuff like that. I mean, there's things like what we call what's happening the most common in the shoe versus the least common.
Exactly.
Then we take it one step further and say, okay, we're 25 hands into the shoe. The most common things is that, it's opposites, mostly opposites, that keeps changing. Okay.
Right.
But the recent most common is it's going repeats. There's, bank 3, player 4, bank 2, whatever. So we're looking at that as a calculated, up to the moment statistic that most people aren't going to look at. They're going to look at the whole shoe and say, oh, banker's got 32, players got 27, bet banker. It's winning.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's more than one thing. We're looking at more than one statistic. Yeah. We're looking for more than one statistic, short term. And to your point there, I cut you off, forgive me, but it was like, it's going to catch up. You had to catch up in the long term. We know all the long-term math, but the chance that it's going to happen within the time frame of that shoe and you betting your hard-earned money on it, you need more information, and information is king in this when you're trying to make an intelligent, educated calculated risk. I'm sorry. So you want to get all the factors: most common, least common, opposites, repeats, 2-back, 3-back, banker versus player, derived roads.
How about this one? Nobody ever teaches people this except we do. You got to break down what the banker's doing versus what the player's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Segregate the stuff. Yes.
Sometimes you look at it and you'll say, well, the banker's 25, players 25. It's pretty even game. Well, what's happening is the banker's going 1, the player's going 3, the banker's going 1, the player's going 2, the banker's going 1, the player's going 4, the banker's going 1, the player's going 5, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. By breaking it down, you are again calculating a more refined approach to what bet to make next based on what's happening in the shoe, along with all these other things, like you say, the derived roads, the recent most common, least common, how far are you into the game, as opposed to at the very beginning of the game, things like that. Your bankroll, how much money do you have left? Okay.
Yeah. How much money do you have left?
I mean, are you gonna bet it all on one hand? No, I hope not.
They get you, by the way. That's how they get you.
Are you gonna risk it? In other words, you have to calculate what makes sense, and then you've got to decide what your risk, tolerance is. That's
Exactly.
calculated risk versus educated guessing, or, oh, I'm just going to walk up and bet it all on player. All right.
Exactly. So if you want to learn all this stuff and really it's really a science, come on down and join us at Beat the Casino. Join the public forum. The public forum is free. People talk about it. There's hundreds of videos on the public forum. If you want to get involved with Kevin and myself and all the other professional players from around the world, join the private forum. It's really inexpensive to join, $25 a month. Sign up and you're in, and away you go. And you'll learn all this stuff. Most common, least common, one back, two back, time before last, system 40, F5, V5 with our world famous Canada Bach. He kind of looks at the last 5 things, and all the approaches that have, evolved over the years. And of course, I'd be remiss if I wouldn't include the 10 best bets, in Baccarat, the booklet for that. So, please come on down, join us at beatthecasino.com and sign up, get a free username, and start chatting with us. Kevin,
you won't regret
final word, as we say in Baccarat.
That's right. You won't regret it if you do that.
You won't regret it. So till next time, then, Kevin, any final thoughts you have here about this calculated risk, and probably one of the most important things to consider?
Because I'm always gratified when I sit down with somebody that I haven't met before.
Yeah.
And maybe they know something about Baccarat, maybe they don't. Maybe they've been a player for a long time, and they start out and they say, well, I don't think you can tell me anything I don't really know. And I go, okay, I understand that. I get that, and what do you know? And I'm writing it down. I write it down, like this. And then I say, okay, well, answer me a few questions. Okay. And they start answering the questions. Yeah. And then I say, well, let me tell you how I think I might be able to help you. You decide what you want to do with the information. And I mean, within an hour to 2 hours, sometimes I've gone 4 hours with people, just sitting in a coffee shop. And one guy got up and hugged me. He said, oh my God, you've changed my whole game. This is the guy that came in and said, well, yeah, I know I can't win. You're not going to tell me anything I don't know. I've seen it all. Yeah. I've watched all the videos.
Yeah. Well, that's probably one of the problems. You watched all the videos, but I know a couple times, we've had even, professional poker players come and they talk to us for hours then and go, wow, I never thought of it like that. And maybe I can apply it to some of my poker playing and stuff. And we've talked to them for hours and hours and, changed their mind and got them to actually join the club. And so again, join us. The link's down below. You can, I guess Kevin's still out there in Vegas, and you can meet Kevin in Vegas. I come out every once in a while. We have a shindig out there, usually about 4 or 5 times a year. And we're here in the East Coast and Atlantic City, and every once in a while, Canada Bach will come down from Canada and meet with everybody. So we keep it cooking, and we hope to do something here on the East Coast. I think in March or April too. By the way, so far as seminars go. Right. So, Kevin, until next time, this is Keith and Kevin from beatthecasino.com, and links down below. Join us. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.